Everybody has seen The Lion King. And if you haven't, you need to. Because if you don't, it will scar you for life. And I'm not lying to you. Okay? It would hurt my pride if you would not go see The Lion King. It is seriously the king of Disney movies. Okay? It's my main movie that I go to. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the puns. But seriously, no, I can't stress enough. You need to go see The Lion King. It's awesome. And boy, is there transformation that happens in there. Like if you see Simba at the beginning, right? You see Simba, and he's this little tiny like brat-ish kid. Almost. I mean, that's almost scandalous to say. I'm sorry, but kinda. He feels entitled to most things, so and like he gets beat by Nala a lot when they play wrestle, and you know, all these things, and then like it's just these terrible like situation. You have this fantastic king like Mufasa. Like even the hyenas get chills. And then you have Simba. Like, I don't know where that line of the kingdom's going, but does not look very good. And then we see Scar manipulate situations and bring about the death of probably my most beloved character in Disney. Yeah. And then he convinces Simba that it was his fault. Simba feels terrible. He's making all sorts of formulations in his head, so he goes off. He leaves the pride. He's like, I can't be here anymore. He goes. He finds Timon and Pumbaa. He grows up with them. Has a very interesting lion childhood. Lots of grub that they eat is not necessarily lion grub. But still good. Still good stuff. So he grows up, and eventually he runs into Nala, and Rafiki sees him alive in her practices. And so like there's hope. You get this sense of hope, like maybe he's growing up, and maybe he's gonna be okay. And then he runs into Nala, and he's too afraid. He can't really confront himself. He can't really confront what he has to do, because he's made all of these assumptions about himself in his head, about how he killed his father, about how he's not good enough. Heck, he might think he's a brat. Like all these assumptions that are in Simba's head. And in the end, he's got to overcome them. He's got to overcome them so he can face Scar. And he does. He looks and he sees Mufasa and the stars. He kind of looks within himself. He's like, who am I? He kind of realizes like who he thinks he is doesn't really matter, because he's got a job to do. That's how I interpret it. So he goes, he takes care of business, dethrones Scar. He's a solid fighter now, okay. Dethrones Scar, and you know, everything's restored. But I think that the transformation, like within Simba's mind, the transformation of Simba is one of the main reasons why we love this film so much. I talked a little bit about the transformation of Mr. Incredible, but like that was Mr. Incredible not being, like, he was kind of fed up. He wasn't, you know, being his full self, but Simba doesn't really think he has a full self to be. Like most people these days suffer, I don't want to say most people, a lot of people these days suffer from depression. They suffer from like suicidal thoughts at one point or another in their life. Like everybody has a low period, midlife crisis. Like they go through things where they have to question themselves. Mr. Incredible didn't really do that. He kind of just went on his own thing, tried to find himself again, and, you know, found himself. But Simba really had to question himself. He's like, can I do it? He had this internal struggle of transformation that is so incredibly powerful. And I think we love that because we all try to go through that. We're all trying to find our own internal struggle that we can like overcome. That way we can defeat our scar. We can move on. We can, be something better for ourselves. I just think that overcoming these thoughts that we've placed on ourselves, that like these ideas and conceptions, I think that's the right word, that we've placed on ourselves are just, sometimes they can be wrong, and they're so inhibiting. And for Simba to come back and overcome all of those is powerful. It's incredible. Simba is also one of my favorite characters. After his transformation, I think it just says a lot about his character to step up and really find him, to take the time. So I think a lot of us don't do that. I think that's the greatest lesson to learn from The Lion King. So don't inhibit yourself. Struggle with who you are. Really find it. It takes time. It takes effort. It's not just going to come to you. If it does, that's fantastic. But for most of us, myself included, it's not just going to come to you. Delve into yourself. See who you really are. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me.